and then exactly what you're saying. You just kind of leave You just kind of leave the offlaner, and Earth Spirit gets to go, screw off and do his own thing.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that. Just abandoning my lane, be like, I don't know what you mean, man. I can't assist you in lane. Just how my heroes played. Me as a spirit player.
5 seconds.
The Bane picked up alongside this. I mean, this hero is just as popular as it's ever been, despite them constantly nerfing it. So good stuff there.
Yep.
What my favorite part of Bane right now is the fact that you can kind of counter out split pushing by yourself. You don't need to TP a core back in order to deal with I don't know, somebody like Stormbeard pushing out the side lane, somebody like TB. If you catch them out by himself, you drop a Nightmare on them. It gives enough time for your allies to TB down, and the Fiend's grip comes out afterwards. And it happens to be very good against the Storm as well, being able to burn his mana every second. If you can catch him out with that Fiend's grip, then he doesn't have enough to be able to get away after the Fiend's grip expires off onto him.
Yep. Exactly. Probably the main reason Bane is so strong. Like you just crazy cast range once you get Aether Lens, and then suddenly if you're near any tree line and Bane is not on the map, you're just probably gonna die. You have to just assume you're gonna die if you're out of position. It's one of the
You
things.
see the meta that was the Bane was playing in the Eastern European qualifiers for the major?
No, I didn't watch any of
They
the
were
Eastern
just
European Dota games.
they were just running shadow amulets on this hero. They wouldn't even upgrade it into a Glimmer Cape, right? They would just like sit on the sidelines with the Shadow Amulet and wait there for like heroes to rotate onto them. The Observer Wards wouldn't catch them out, or like late observers wouldn't catch them out. And then eventually they would come onto the Bane, he'd drop a Nightmare onto them when he Vision, and then Fiends grip them afterwards. It was just playing AFK with a Shadow Amulet. It was hilarious to see. And it's like, this is optimal Dota right here. You go AFK with a Shadow Amulet and you support hero. Wait for the enemies to come to you. It was so sick, man.
Just trapdoor spider Dota. Good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff.
Yet people get upset about techies. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's like bell curve Dota. It's like at the bottom of the bell curve, low IQ, just griefing, regularly playing the game, then back down. Oh, spam call, my bad. And then back down to the optimal gameplay. All of a sudden, again, is just running Shadow with going AFK.
Dude, that's crazy that's just a thing. Like, you're just like, I'm just going to not play for the next 8 minutes and see if we find a hero. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
They ban out the Anti-Mage and the Brewmaster. All sensible bans here. The Anti-Mage is a little bit weird since Terrorblade is considered one of the counters, but you are running a Storm Spirit, so it's more of like a safety for that. And then, of course, Brewmaster just very good at dealing with Terrorblade and his illusions as well, so CK could be ran either way. You don't have last pick here on Infamous. I think it's likely we'll see Timbersaw. Yep, there we go.
You're so smart, Ricky. Your brain is so big.
It's just
I'm still holding it against you that you made fun of me earlier, but you're so smart, Ricky.
Thanks, bud. This was the most sensible pick for me in the last phase. Like, I just look at their team. It's like, it's a good Timbersaw game. There's not a lot they can do to shut it down. It pretty much makes Chaos Knight's game very difficult if he wants to run it as a core. Which I think is their plan here. They need to pick something that's a little bit better into the Terrorblade lane.
Yep. What do they grab into the Terrorblade lane?
Dude, just pick a Viper, honestly. Just pick Viper here and end the game.
Do you have enough lockdown if you pick Viper? I guess your lockdown's already like, okay.
Yeah, you just pick Viper here, and Terrorblade's lane is super over. You have it against Timbersaw, and like Storm can't kill Viper. I think it's actually just the easiest Viper game. Yeah, Necro's not bad. Did get a slight nerf, but still pickable. I don't think Necro's nerfs were like over the top. Dude, speaking of over the top nerfs, Primal Beast? What? How do they actually do that? They literally just like, we're gonna make this hero legitimately unplayable. All right, they go Doom.
Well, everyone was like tired of playing against the Primal Beast. I'm pretty sure I saw like constant posts on Twitter about that. People were just sick of it. So like, okay, we'll just get rid of him completely. Might as well remove him from the hero pool.
It's lazy balancing, man. It's really weird.
Yep.
Like, they didn't actually attempt to balance it. They just, that is such like a jerk reaction to like just make the hero unpickable. It's crazy. What do you think of the last pick Doom here?
The last pick Doom, I like it. I saw this one picked up a lot in the CN regional finals. In this game, I feel like it's going to be very good at shutting down a specific target. So either taking Storm Spirit or this Terrorblade out of the game really messes up what Infamous are able to do in the late game. Because these are pretty low damage supports as far as burst go in the late game. A lot of this is going to be riding either on a Lone or Parker to do a lot of damage. If you can remove one with a Fiend's Grip or one with a Doom, It significantly shuts down the team fight on Infamous. So I do like this one.
All right. I like the color synergies here between Affliction and
Of
Parker.
course. Yeah, the purple and oh, sorry, Affliction and Parker. I thought you were talking about Osmium. They've got purple and red on their side.
No. Look at the Terrorblade. It's got like this like crystally pink,
Yeah, and then the same
matches well
like,
with the Wyvern.
yeah, the secondary colors on these heroes. Yeah, excellent colors gaming here. I
Okay.
thought you were talking about like the overall draft from Osmium because it's all just purple and red.
Nope.
No,
Talking about
Alright.
lane synergy here, and boy, do they got lane
Oh.
synergy on this Wyvern Terrorblade in terms of color. That's beautiful.
What about the actual hero synergy between these two?
I don't know what you mean.
Non-relevant.
Yeah, it's not as important as the color synergy.
That is true.
This cosmetic game is on point.
Right. How about we talk lane matchups here? Oscar on this Timbersaw up against Kataro on the CK. Normally CK is a lane dominator, but when he's playing against an anti-melee strength hero, do you think he's going to be having as good of a time?
We've actually seen this CK into Timbersaw matchup a pretty decent number of times so far, and I think every single time it is usually like Timbersaw struggling the first few waves, and then suddenly you just leave him solo and CK has no game.
Prepare for battle.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
tip
going to
of
be
an
my
empty
guess,
game.
is like CK, as long as they actually play pretty aggressive this first couple waves, because like Bane's a pretty strong lane hero, right?
Yep.
So as long as they play fairly aggressive on the first wave when Timbersaw is still weak, I think they'll do okay. But you're also playing into this Earth Spirit, who is like super strong level 1 as well, and level 2, especially level 2.
I mean, he's not super weak at level 2 on the other spirit. Just having the rolling boulder and boulder smash, I think, gives you a lot. It is so crazy that this hero has gone through this, though. Even from being like one of the highest like damage support heroes to being a little bit underwhelming overall. It's still amazing at setting up ganks on heroes, though.
I was
Continue.
listening to Effie, I believe, actually explain how her frustrations with Earth Spirit and the fact that like her Aghanim, like the Aghanim Scepter is just like like in every capacity just worse than Tusk's Aghanim Scepter, but it's just the same thing basically. And it's just very funny. Like it's not vector targeted, it's lower cast range, like tiny, it's like one of the smallest cast range abilities, and it's
They
just
buffed
worse.
it, especially on allies. It's much better as a save now, so you can use it on like targets that are getting dueled and whatnot. It's fairly good. It's just kind of annoying to farm on the hero. So I think that it's improved from how it was. It's why they ended up giving it like that change around recently, where the allied cast range is still like pretty small at 175, but then sorry, enemy cast range is like 175, but ally cast range is like 500 now.
Yeah.
So you can actually have a little bit of range to save them.
It's just very rare that you're ever gonna get an Aghanim Scepter on an Earth Spirit in the first place, and it's just like,
I mean,
it's very strange.
it's not.
4,200 gold
it's difficult to go out of the way for that
a
money.
save is what you're basically itemized for, Because
Mm-hmm.
you're not using it
other items to set up
offensively.
on
Like
heroes.
very rarely are you going to use that offensively.
Yeah, it's mostly defensive, but that's one of the beauties of Earth Spirit is you can do so many different things on the hero. They've kind of taken that away over the years, though, with like level 25. You could do too many things in the past, in my opinion. Now that they've like nerfed each everything you're able to do, and then made all these requirements. Okay, you can't do this stuff until you're in like the ultra late game. And he's not amazing at farming up that Aghanim Scepter. He's kind of a suicide initiator. It's very funny that he dropped that spray onto him after hitting him with that. He actually goes first level boulder smash on the Earth Spirit, though. Oh, Kyu, I think he's going to be able to trade with him pretty successfully here.
Boulder Smash is a long cooldown, right? Yeah, 22 seconds.
It is. Yeah, and then he kind of gives away that he's not able to get away with him with the rolling boulder either. So Kyu's playing very far up, aggressive.
I'd like to see Michael just kick him into the base or into the tower, but it doesn't happen there.
Yeah, I can't do that without the rolling boulder. One of the neat things about rolling boulders always puts you behind the hero from the direction that you target, so it's very good at setting up on people and kicking them behind buildings, especially given that they end up moving these towers up a little bit in 7.31.
Not sure if you've caught Sebastian in this mid lane, but he is owning on this Void Spirit. 10 or 11 and 3. Bottom lane, big fight breaking out. Parker, he popped meta for this. Stroke of Fate will connect. He just needs to get an auto attack here off on Sladen. He does get that. Affliction's body block's not quite good enough.
Yeah.
He's toying with him. He's got Fairy Fire Mango.
Yeah, he does. Sladen's got a salve as well, though, so he'll head back to the trees and heal himself back up to nearly full HP. They're doing just fine. Top lane.
Yeah, they're going for a dive here onto Oscar, but it's not really going to pan out for them very well, so he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he's got Brain Sap back up and a Fairy Fire himself, so again, he's just continuing to play super aggressive here. Doing well for themselves. Oscar's got to be kind of careful. Tara lost a lot of HP from that Willing Death, though. Hit him with a couple of trees as well. Nightmare comes out. Katara's going to go for this, man.
Yeah, I think they will. He kicks him away. Nicely done. Oscar down to 30 HP, but it's going to be enough. Well played there by the Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
All right, nice.
Good save. I'd like to see Tusk do that, Ricky.
He just snowballs you. What do you mean? He can't. He wouldn't
It's
have
not the same.
He wouldn't have taken the damage in the first place, neph. Michael top lane gets baited by Cat-U on the Bane, and Bane will now just deny himself. Very good stuff. So, beautiful lane here going for Kataro.
I'd like to see Tusk do that.
What, die twice?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be more difficult. That is true.
We can take a look back here at the mid lane. You mentioned Sebastian doing excellent against Alona a couple of minutes ago. It's even back out since then, and actually they're like within one goal of each other. So yeah, it's even back out since then. Stormspirit does have a slightly easier time as well because he's able to move over into the side camp and clear those out easier and faster than the Void Spirit can. But rotations coming in from these support heroes goes a little bit better for the side of Osmium. So Sebas gets himself a water rune and Alone has to think about walking back to base.
Three, he says, as 3 heroes come to the mid lane to deny the water runes.
Tip comes out.
I mean, this is one of the benefits of running a hero like Timbersaw. You can get away with being aggressive in your lane and or just being left alone, rather. Affliction doing so much work with this Arctic Burn. It's going to be able to allow Parker to try and get on top of him and finish off the kill. He needs a couple more attacks here. Pops the Fairy Fire even as he goes up onto the high ground, maybe trying to deny onto himself. It's not going to happen. So Parker grabbed himself his first kill here in the bottom lane. Sebas mid. Looks like very low, but still alive. Did Storm hit 6? No, they were just duking it out.
Yeah. And he Alone's going to head back to base pretty quickly here. He might, yeah, he's just going to clear out the small camp first.
Parker getting a second kill here onto Sladen as he was using a reflection and his courier to help scout things.
Clean moves. And a couple of these heroes now rotating back to base. Michael's going to take over the mid lane for a moment while Storm Spirit heals back up, gets himself full HP and mana. So a little bit of XP will go a long way here. But Sebastian's already level 6 and now Sladen teleporting in, refilling Sebastian's bottle. It's possible they go for a kill on a Michael here. He has Ink Swell available. Only 1 point in it, though.
Pretty tanky is the problem.
Yeah, full HP.
Oh, roll off the mark?
I mean, this is going to be punished.
Yeah, definitely. Michael taking a lot of damage there. And yeah, there's just kill going for Sebas. However, it is enough for Alone to get his level 6. I don't know if he wants to continue the chase here, as he is pretty low on mana now. And Inkswell comes through. It is going to stun the Storm Spirit, but I don't know if they have damage to actually finish him off. Cat-U coming in from the side. He's going to run right into the hands of the enemy team. The Remnant is there, plus another Dissimilate. And it ends up being a massive disaster here for the side of Infamous as a 6-minute rune spawns, and it's a regen.
You hate to see it. I mean, Tusk couldn't do that. Set up, go too far underneath the tower. Get punished for it.
Which cause are you supporting here? I'm very confused. Are you on Tusk team or Earth Spirit team?
Look, it's hard to be on Earth Spirit team after these last couple of plays, okay? Michael is struggling a little bit right now. He will recover from this, though.
That's true. He is a great player. I believe in Michael. Top lane. Pretty deep here on Oscar. Gonna try and get punished here with the rotation from Sebas, as well as Kataro coming here as well. The Inkswell, just to continue to chain stun him down, and he will fall. And those are big punishes. One of the reasons you were saying Bane is so good. That exact reason right there.
Yeah, setting up on a hero that is just too deep, teleports a couple heroes in. He didn't even need to commit Fiend's Grip. He's only like level 3 when he set that one up. Beautiful play there by them, and now they're smoking up. They're looking to make rotation down the bottom of the game. Make Parker's game even more miserable. Thankfully, Alone is here to assist, brings down Draken. But Stormspirit's going to get caught out, and he is pretty low mana as he's running into them.
Yep, silence into the Remnant. The Inkswell, will it stun him? He gets that off just in time, thanks to Affliction action coming in with an auto attack to break off that Phantom. And now the question is, can Sabas actually get out of here? He does have an Astral Step.
Yeah, he's baiting them kind of forward here. Michael goes forward himself, but doesn't end up connecting with anything. So Alone surviving that one is a pretty big deal. Because his game is going to be kind of difficult to recover if he ends up going down there. But survives, heads back to base. He's got 3-1-1. He hasn't put another point to another build yet. I'm pretty sure he'll get overloaded at this point. Elsewhere on the map, Affliction. He ends up going down.
Tried to get a haste rune there and dies for it.
All right. Alone actually TP still on cooldown. I was like, yeah, he'll TP to like top lane or something like that and try to go on Guitarro, but he's gonna farm up for the next little bit. Still, game relatively even despite the fact that Osmium just seems to have the advantage as far as setting up kills.
That and like you look at net worth, and the Storm Spirit is struggling a little bit. The kill in the mid lane that went the way of the Void Spirit ended up doing pretty big stuff for him. I mean, he is going to go for the Euls like we were talking about. One of the probably better items he could get this game is it will help him catch the Storm as well as any other hero. And if Storm decides to go for like an Orchid, never really in danger. But there it is. Everyone's favorite build of the patch. Null Talismans.
Oh, I thought you had already noticed. He had 3 when he made that last play down on the bottom lane. It's the only reason he's able to get so far away from Sabas.
I'm so glad this is in the game and was not addressed in the recent update before the major or anything.
Look, everything is how Ice Frog wants it. If it was an issue, it would have been addressed. This is exactly how the game was intended to be played.
It's pretty nuts that like Storm was like literally first phase, first pick for most of the recent games and through most of Tour 2 of the DPC.
You know what the most funny part about this is?
And he wasn't
the
nerfed.
other heroes that were also like first phase pick and ban every game, Death Prophet. You know what the Death Prophet nerf was? 50% of the damage that her ultimate does to towers. That's how hard of a nerf she got hit with. The Storm was relatively unaddressed.
You want to know the funniest part about that nerf?
Sure.
It actually didn't get put into the patch initially.
Oh, right.
They instead accidentally nerfed the damage to creeps, not to towers. So it just did 50% less damage to creeps, but it still shredded towers for like the first day and a half after the patch.
Yes, Death Prophet ultimate famously used for farming creeps.
Yes.
Well, at least it nerfed the damage I think did to Roshan, right?
No.
For a day and a half. No?
No.
Just other creeps?
Yep.
Okay, good stuff.
Because that's considered a hero creep.
Yeah. All right.
I believe. Or something
Regeneration
like that.
rune picked up on the Storm Spirit. Let's see if we can make a play happen with this one.
It's going to be a
Probably
farming
not.
regen, right? It's my guess.
Looks like it.
All right, they're smoked up, topped off here. Affliction, no level 6, so that Winter's Curse not available, but Michael does have the Magnetize, which is a pretty big spell in terms of damage. Looking to just go bottom here, find Draken here on the Doom. This would be a nice punish if they can get him. He's closing in on that Midas. Rolling Boulder off the mark. The quick schmoves here from the Doom.
Yeah,
the TP is quick in response, so they will have to back out.
Yep. It looks like just the Bane ends up coming in here, so they're not going to give up too much farm on the map for this TP rotation. Mid lane, gonna go into Sabas. The Astral steps out. A good chunk of damage they ended up doing to him, though.
I feel like there's a time here that is quickly approaching for Infamous, that if they don't find something big here in a moment, they might get ran over by Osmium, because like you're about to hit some really big timings on the side of Osmium here.
Like Midas, let's go! Draken finishes Midas there, as you said that.
Yeah, so that's one of them I was definitely talking about. Ooh, Timbersaw stun. All right. I mean, this is the problem. You're trying to take this fight without your Yules yet on the Storms, on the Void Spirit, so it's not easy to grab these kills. That's one of the timings I was referring to, but CK will grab himself a kill there onto Michael. Nicely done. Has a haste rune, and as his courier is desperately limping after him, asking him to slow the hell down. There he goes.
Chaos Knight doesn't know slow. Come on. He is speed.
Speaking of speed, dude, I watched the new Sonic movie yesterday.
How was it?
It was actually pretty good.
What would you rate it out of 10?
Like a 7.5 maybe.
Yeah. I live right beside a cinema, and a bunch of people are like trying to get me to hang out. All right, I have no friends. I'm stop lying.
I would say a lot of people are trying to get you to what?
Hang out with them. I'm like, well, that's 100% a cope. All I do is Dota.
It's very sussy, Neph. I don't know if I believe you.
Yeah, it was 100% a cope. All right, last the raindrops dug on alone. Tried to jump onto the Void Spirit there. Can't connect with them. There's a Yule Scepter completed, so I think they're more inclined to set up trying to find a kill, and they smoke up.
It's
They've got
only
Fiend's
1
Grip
point
available as
remnant,
well.
though. It is only 1 point in this Aether Remnant from the Void Spirit.
Yeah, I think he's been more focused on farming creeps than he has trying to find anything with this Aether Remnant
They
so
will
far.
see the Timbersaw here.
Yep.
Affliction is behind them as he's going to run into
he's
the
got
Doom,
him.
but
Fiend's Grip's going to follow up.
yeah, casking Timbersaw here is much bigger. Inkswell actually just going to stack the stuns, but the magic damage, is it enough to finish him off? It will be with the Brain Sap there from Cat U at the very end, and oh, the double Doom. The Winter's Curse comes out just in time. That will barely keep them alive long enough to turn this all the way around as Draken's going to fall next. Cat U now on the run. And he's not going to be able to survive as Parker, just doing too much damage around the Terrorblade. And a big win there for Infamous.
Yeah,
and a great
so
response from Affliction. So quick.
Yeah. Definitely the MVP of that fight. Man, Winter's Curse off to them immediately. As soon as he saw the that chain come out as well, the soul bind onto the two of them. Like mid-cast animation for Doom, you need to walk up over to them and place it. Like they 100% don't win that team fight if that double Doom gets off there. So sick, man. Affliction the gamer.
At some point, Doom's going to have a Blink Dagger. And by some point, I mean relatively soon. And that's when things get a little bit scary.
Yeah. Much more difficult to interrupt him with that Winter's Curse. I mean, it is a fairly slow cast point spell. But again, if you don't see him coming, you don't see him like walking slowly towards the fight, it is a lot harder to interrupt him when he's going for that.
Yeah, he's got War Stomp as well, too. So Blink, instant stun, pretty difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Or borderline instant stun. They've gone ahead, slept Terrorblade here, back on the behind the tower. They even dropped the Doom on him. Oh my lord!
Get him out of here.
Draken adding insult to injury.
Yeah. There's his Blink Dagger gold. Midas is a creep, finishes off a Devour. Gets elasted on a tower.
It's a lot of gold. This man, he's a printer, dude. So Bass gonna walk right into a. Did you not see him? They have to see him. Oh, right onto the high ground. There's a Doom ready and waiting. Affliction gonna try and hobble away here. No chance of escape though.
Blink Dagger. Now he can hop back down. Wait, how did he get up? Oh, did he tumbler toy up there?
Yeah, he tumbler toyed up there initially.
Okay, yeah. He got the Blink Dagger to bring him back down afterwards. Up in the top lane, gonna TP here on the Terrorblade. Doom is no threat to him at the moment because, again, he knows that Doom is still on cooldown for a little while. He just used on him in the previous fight. You got another 90 seconds. In fact, it almost looks like they were trying to set up onto Doom, but Cat U's going to catch out these heroes, maybe.
He has Fiend's Grip available, too, which is
yeah, he sees them,
really
and so
scary.
they're going to back up. Extra night vision there on Bane.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So he ended up catching out the illusion. He goes, okay, TB's around here, and if he's this deep, there's probably other heroes coming by as well. They get to dodge this fight. Oh, at least I hope they dodge this fight. Please, Draken. All right, they're coming in with the Grimstroke illusion.
Did he get stunned by an ogre? He did. Okay, I was like, why is he stunned for so long?
That sound hurts, man. That's like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
It's messed up.
it's a lot of damage too.
Bottom lane. Dude, does he know he's here? He's pinging it out like, you know. They scan him. Dude, Sebas is the biggest brain of any Dota play I've ever seen. Okay, to see him go past the creep, CK's coming towards him as well.
Meanwhile, top,
Pretty low mana.
they're gonna dive the Doom. Do they have the damage to actually finish them off, though? Yeah, okay, there's the Timber Saw. They got him. Can they actually get on top of alone? They do. Fiend's Grit comes out right away. The Kataro rotation for the CK as well. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade on the map. Duh. That is a little bit sussy in my eyes, dude.
A little bit sussy.
Oh, nice one. You got me. Let me pause on you. Whoa.
Oh, I only died because I had some ping or something like that. Man, that was a huge setup down in the bottom lane. I'm not sure if you caught the initial part of it. I think Void Spirit realized that the storm was like hidden in the trees there. They couldn't find him elsewhere on the map. I was like walking towards them. They scanned it out, but they already had heroes like moving towards him from elsewhere. So they're like, okay, this guy's pretty low mana. We'll just continue to set up on him. Maybe if he walks back now, we're going to be able to catch him. And of course, he runs out when he's underneath the tower and they just dive it because they know that they were busy elsewhere in top. All these people don't have TPs either. Not a single one of them have a TP. Not on Affliction, not on Earth Spirit, not on Oscar. There's no way to help that storm. Now they're going to set up down here. I mean, they've already dropped Fiend's Grip, but they could probably catch somebody with level 4 Nightmare. The question is, whomst?
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
Doesn't look like it's going to be anybody. Unable to get their hands on anyone, so they will just protect their tower for now. Be okay with that. Meanwhile, bottom, looks like Sabas isn't going to try and push anymore, so.
Yeah, not much to gain there. Storm Spirit's TPing up to the top lane, so this is a sign that they want to take this fight on Infamous.
Yeah, they've got all 5 heroes up here, and if they happen to find a pick, it would be very nice. Cat U trying to block this gank, though.
Yep.
No way they go into Roche, right? There's no chance.
Not a
okay,
shot.
They just smoke on the low ground. Michael just gets pulled right. He has a Lotus already on Oscar completed. It almost manages to keep him alive for the moment, but Michael in some trouble. He jumps the back line as they've got Kataro. He will be able to finish him off. The double doom, it doesn't end up getting. Doom's an illusion. Oh my gosh, what a disaster for Osmium.
Yeah. They did end up losing Earth Spirit on the backline. He got finished off by the dot from Infernal Blade on the Doom, just barely making it out. But that was, like you mentioned, disaster for them. You get any of the heroes they wanted to. They ended up getting controlled up too much on the CK. That was Electric Vortex that came off onto him. So much damage. I'm surprised how much burst they had for him.
Parker just like walked onto their high ground and started clicking people. He just walked through the whole enemy team. Draken bottom lane gets absolutely popped by Oscar, and Sladen's gonna die second. They're falling apart. It's Infamous now that have full control of the map.
Yeah, and with nothing, I mean, they've got Fiend's Grip off of cooldown, but they don't have any of their teamfight abilities, so they're not gonna be able to fight into them. Tip comes out to him afterwards. I mean, there's a lot of damage from that Whirling Death. But you were talking about this one earlier. You're worried, okay, if Infamous don't make a move soon, Osmium are just gonna run over them. So they've taken the game kind of into their own hands here on Infamous. Now playing a lot faster than they were before.
Yeah, his first item, Lotus Orb, completely disrupted what Osmium wanted to do in that fight. And I think like the Doom just got too sidetracked with like trying to kill this Earth Spirit and just did not realize that both like Terrorblade and Storm were soul binded on the other side of the fight. And he just, if he drops the Doom on the two of them, this fight's so different.
Yeah, instead he's chasing down a hero who really, already got his spells off and does very limited damage.
At last.
We'll see if they can recover from this one, but now map control on the side of. There's so many Sentry Wards in Dire Jungle. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen this many Sentry Wards down on a map at once.
Yeah,
Affliction
there
goes
is.
Down.
This is the nature of the game right now.
This is actually insane. It's like one of the older patches where you could buy a limited amount of sentries and someone would just drop them everywhere to like grief a game.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine they have any sentries left, but they definitely own the top half of the map, and as a result, they're going to find themselves another kill onto this Doom.
Yeah, they know there's almost no vision. Almost no vision. There's a little bit up on the high ground. Tinker Ward is placed. Yeah. Bottom lane, Affliction, TP's down here. He's going to see it on Sebas. The question if he wants to dive for this Winter Wyvern. The answer is probably not. It's not really worth it. If it was a bigger hero, him and Bane would probably go for it. But we are getting close to some bigger items in Awesome that you were talking about earlier. The Aghanim Scepter and Void Spirit being a big one. At that point, you know, he's able to jump the back line, get a flex, and stop him from dropping a Winter's Curse to resetting these team fights. So, Eggs picked up on Seb. That's a very big deal, and he's like 7 gold off right now.
Yeah. That will be a giant upgrade. Storm Spirit on his way to the BKB, though. So this is also very huge. Looks like he's going to finish it up in base right now. TP home. And here we go.
Yeah.
The classic Storm Spirit build. No items, BKB. Classic.
Null Talisman BKB is what you mean to say.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
BKB also finished on the Chaos Knight, though. He's got his 9 seconds. So we've hit 2 big item timings. We've hit BKB Chaos Knight. We've hit Aghanim Scepter on Sebas.
Going to the top
now they're going to
side
try to
of the
invade.
Dude, this top side of the map is so scary. Oh, they will run into Michael alone. We'll be able to get out, but Earth Spirit not going to be as lucky here. Wait a minute. Yules, is it buying enough time? Doom, backside of the fight. Did he Doom a... Okay, I think he Doomed Storm. I couldn't quite tell. But they've also got the Timbersaw on the front side. It's a beautiful fight this time from Osmium.
Yeah, a little bit unnecessary dooming that Storm, but they didn't chain up the Chaos Bolt and the Centaur Stomp properly. So there's like a small window the Storm Tier would have been able to escape if he didn't drop the Doom.
Another catch here by Sebas. We go on to the Winter Wyvern. Parker did take down Draken here. He has a Lincoln Sphere now picked up on the Terra, but they're going to buy back on the Wyvern. Winter's Curse is still available, and they do have the high ground vision on the side of Infamous. They need to deward this. There it goes.
Yep. They're going to go into Roshan. This is a risky move. I mean, it's easier to take this team fight. We still have Winter Wyvern with Curse available.
And Storm's
you
back.
Can reset a fight if it looks bad. Yeah, but you still got BKB on the Chaos Knight. Now he's at full HP again. And Phantasm is up.
If they want to go in, they've got to go in now, and they've got to find the picks on somebody.
Dude, Michael's on the back
CK
line here.
illusion going in. That doesn't really do what you want. There's the Winter's Curse to catch the Void Spirit. 2 heroes caught in the Soulbind, but Void Spirit almost dead completely just off the curse. He's going to be forced to leave. Now Kataro standing his ground here with his BKB, takes down the Wyvern. That's going to be a dieback, but Kataro trying to TP home will be able to make it out. That being said, Alone did dive all the way to finish off Sebas here, and Cat, you will be next. So not only do they get the Roshan, but they get themselves multiple kills as Michael finishes them off there.
Yeah, like you mentioned, this is going to give them up the Roshan. I mean, this is what we were talking about at the beginning. The Winter Wyvern just an amazing counter to the CK. As soon as that Phantasm came out, dropped it off onto the Void Spirit. Ends up taking way too much damage from the CK and the Phantasm illusions and forced out of the team fight. At that point, everything had crumbled for Osmium. Infamous taking these fights super well. Their team fight is just so much better. If you can't find these solo pickups from Osmium, then you struggle. When your ability's on cooldown, it's even harder.
Really trying to see the Void Spirit's death summary, but the game really doesn't want to give it to me.
What do you want to know about it?
I want to see how much damage he took during Phantasm, or during Winter's Curse, but it doesn't...
1800.
Yeah, it doesn't show on the Winter Wyvern's damage in the fight, unfortunately. He'll find a nice pickup here onto the Earth Spirit.
It's credited to CK.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, it was credited to CK. Phantasm illusions are all on top of him there.
Cat, you walking up here, gonna regret doing that.
Just a little bit too deep, I guess, trying to establish some control of the enemy team's jungle. So on the front foot now on the side of Infamous, and I think they will be up until this Aegis expires. They've itemized very well for this game.
Yeah.
The Lotus Orb Brush on the Timbersaw was great. The Lincoln Sphere on the TB. Also pretty amazing. And you're still, I mean, you were very close to a couple of items there. Like you had the BKB on the CK, you had Aghanim Scepter there on the Void Spirit, but you never initiated on the heroes that you need to get on top of at the beginning of that team fight. You just somehow get on top of this TP and hit him with the Doom. But Affliction's positioning makes that pretty difficult. He has been on point with like resetting the fights with these Winter Curses this game.
Yeah, he really has.
Definitely
A 2k gold
MVP.
lead though. Still pretty close, but the fact that it's in favor of Infamous, I think, is really good for them. You're playing into this Doom who, you know, should have so much extra net worth, but really doesn't. Like, this game is incredibly even right now. And with this Aegis, they're going to look to go high ground. They have the Metamorphosis available. And Parker picks up a Chrysalis now, so he's feeling strong.
They just don't have any big team fight abilities to make this easy for them. Everything's single target.
Yeah, that's true, and it's never easy unless you see Affliction, right? Like, if you don't see the Wyvern, it's really hard to take the fight.
Yeah. And I guess it's kind of why. It goes back and explains why we saw the Dire jungle was littered with Radiant Sentry wards. The only way that they're able to take these team fights is when they know that their Witch Wyvern is safe, and you can reset the fight for them. If they somehow manage to get the jump on Osmium. They grouped up as if they want to try to wrap around right now on Osmium, but it's Sladen holding the smoke. Yeah, there's really no reason for them to slow down here. They can just walk up onto the high ground.
I don't know how you actually go for wraparound play. You're going to be fighting into like Radiant Vision, right? They're going to have a ward on that high ground.
Yeah. Look how far back Affliction is playing, though, just because he's worried about exactly what you were talking about. Them getting on top of him and then losing the Terrorblade because of it.
Yeah, even drops a Tinker ward for it.
Yeah, very defensive with their defensive support. So they know they're relatively safe. Another minute and 15 seconds left on this Aegis. They might just have to settle for this tier 2 tower. I really think they'll try to push high ground with this, though. We've got Daedalus coming on the TV right now as well. This guy is going to like two-shot heroes.
Yeah. Yep, especially with the Wyvern. Like hitting him once with like Arctic Burn is just going to be a massive issue. But Lincoln Sphere protecting alone for the moment.
Kraken popped his BKB there.
Oh, they do manage to catch the Wyvern, but decides to go back into the base rather than commit for it. You're right, yeah. Draken's BK beat for this. They do manage to get Parker's Lincolns, but he's still got Aegis for 35 seconds. You don't want to throw the Doom on this guy.
Yeah, he's more than happy to go down, and they just drop the Lotus Orb onto him. They realize this timing, it's going to secure them the racks. They get it. So just like that, they aren't able to take the fight. Now they can just walk away without a care in the world. They'll chip away at this range track, but this one really doesn't matter. It'll go down to the creeps pushing it naturally anyways. Oh.
Or the Terrorblade Illusion might just almost kill it anyway.
Yeah.
And now we almost have Storm Spirit's Aghanim Scepter. We saw in this last fight, like, he just puts the Lincolns on the Storm and he just zips in looking for a Vortex kill or for just vision, right? And it's zero cost.
Yeah, the Lincolns are probably more often going, like, he'll be saving it for himself when he doesn't have the Aegis available, though. That time he was, like, trying to bait the enemies out to using it on him. Speaking of, they're gonna look for something right now.
They gotta get really nice 2-hero initiation, and they will find Earth Spirit as well. So good turnaround here from Osmium. It does prove that they can still find kills, but it is not easy.
Yep. It's the 5v5 fights when they don't have vision, like a vision of this Winter Wyvern that they're struggling with, right? That's why they bought him back earlier when they were taking that fight inside the Roach Pit. And now I think they'll just dodge an Infamous for the next couple of minutes. And unfortunately, I don't think you're actually going to be able to secure yourself any extra map control in the kill at this moment. You can't really turn this into any objectives. Roshan is still down. The waves are being pushed in, so you can't get yourself any towers. And in fact, Parker ended up taking the bottom range rack just now with his illusion.
Just watching Sladen literally get ran to his fountain by an illusion. Classic. Good old Terrorblade.
DD rune.
Gonna be yoinked there by alone. Nicely done.
Yeah. He's going to get to use this one with his Aghanim Scepter as well. He's got this one completed in like 400 gold. So again, they find a couple of kills outside their base to even out the net worth again, so they don't find any extra control of this map. I'm trying to think of like what the next big item is for the side of Osmium to get them back into this game. But they're pretty far off anything. Like, maybe you complete a Shiva's Guard on Doom, it'll help a little bit. You're working on Ive Scotty on the Chaos Knight, but none of these are really game-changing things, and outside of the Ive Scotty, everything is pretty far away. And Infamous, they smoke up, they want to take another team fight.
I'm wondering if like Doom can just go refresher this game, but It's not easy. They've itemized so well on Infamous for this.
Well, he can't go refresher now. He doesn't have the mana to do that.
Yeah, Michael just rolls right up onto the high ground, ends up finding Cat. There's gonna be the 2 heroes soulbind. The Doom does end up coming out onto them, so that will hold them in place. But it's the backside of the fight. You gotta be careful. It's Kataro and Sebas trying to fight up into Alone. The DD rune doing work, but they managed to take down 2. Wyvern will fall first. The Fiend's Grip onto the Storm Spirit. They've got no save. They're crumbling on Infamous. 4 for 0, and it's about to be 5. Triple kill for Kataro.
Yeah, things finally went their way. The double Doom getting off in this team fight. There's the Lotus Orb off onto the CK, off onto the Timbersaw, but it didn't even end up mattering. He ended up throwing it off into the other target, and so 2 heroes taken out of the team fight is exactly what Osmium needed to happen. But this only happens when you need a vision superiority there. So they're feeling super confident with these items recently completed, but without the supports to be able to reset the team fights, they just melt. Fiend's Grip comes off onto the Storm Spirit. He goes down to a huge crit at the end by the CK. This is what they needed.
Yeah, I mean, CK was able to just stand on top of Terrorblade and right-click him, and Chaos Knight does an absolute ton of damage. And when that BKB comes out, obviously you don't have that Sunder target anymore, so we might be seeing Terrorblade go for like an Aghanim Scepter or something this game.
That would allow them to reset fights if they managed to get on top of his Winter Wyvern successfully. But again, he just completed all these other items. He's got no gold to work with. He's already 6 slotted as well. So he'll need to turn that into an Aghanim Blessing. Maybe from the next Roshan. That was a quick respawn. I wasn't paying super close attention, but it is already back up.
Yeah. 6k gold lead now for Osmium. They finally have themselves like the first real lead of the game. It has been very close pretty much the whole game. But Kataro's CK you have to be very careful of now.
Yep. Again, it all comes back to keeping this Winter Wyvern alive on the back line to be able to deal with this CK.
Draken top lane. Does have the BKB. Gonna get caught by the Vortex and just burst it down instead. Never mind. Beautiful timing there from Alone.
Yeah. And this is a great setup for them. As you know, Roche has already respawned. They can start moving towards the pit right now. They see Cat-U.
Kataro is just going in. All right. 2 heroes caught in that Soulbind. The buyback's coming through from the Dune. Alone's got to be careful. Still has that Doom available in 3 seconds. Who's going to use it on? He's going to go for Parker instead. The Terrorblade's stuck now. Sabas going to get himself a Eul's to buy some time, and the Shiva's Guard to slow them down. He ends up targeting Affliction on the backside. The Wyvern instead. Big Vortex from Alone, but Alone's running out of mana, and Draken's trying to stay on top of Parker, but there it is. The Sunder comes through, but now you're stuck inside the CK Illusions, and Alone in trouble. Out of mana. Burst it down. Ultra kill for Kataro.
Almost managed to turn that one around on the Terrorblade. I mean, he was forced to run away. They just weren't doing any damage. This is one of the issues. All of your net worth is on this TB, and he was doing nothing in that team fight. He itemized pretty well for it. He got lucky with his neutral item drop. The Doom didn't last very long at all, thanks to Sanji Yash, the Titan Sliver. But still, if he's running away, not pumping out damage, then Osmium were able to run them over. That buyback very necessary there.
Yeah. Dude, Kataro just doing so much damage on this CK now.
Yeah, and that time they did manage to kind of reset the team fight, drop the Winter Wyvern ult up onto like the main CK, but then this wasn't follow-up damage coming off onto him.
I will say Kataro's playing super well at just like avoiding Timbersaw in these fights, because like I think we've seen multiple times where you, like CK just presses Phantasm and then like a Timbersaw just walks up and presses Q and all the illusions die, but it just hasn't happened this game. Like he's playing around his Phantasm actually extremely well, making sure that they don't just get bursted.
Yep. So Age is going to be on their side now. Again, they still haven't taken any tier 2 towers, but they're up 12k net worth. The only issue is, you know, when you're playing against the Storm Spirit and you want to start taking buildings, you have to keep in mind you're playing against a hero that is invulnerable most of the time. They still have a long way to go. They need to build themselves more than a 12k net worth lead to overcome what this hero does.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Sabas goes in. Silence onto 2. Who are they going to go for? It's going to be the Earth Spirit as well as the Timbersaw. They don't have a Doom to come through quite yet. The Vortex does manage to do some work. Big Winter's Curse as well. But the Fiend's Grip, it's caught Terrorblade. He needs help and fast. Will Parker be able to get out of here? Just gets pulled right back into Kataro. Cold Embrace almost to buy him some time, but Kataro just doing way too much damage.
Yeah. The Cold Embrace came out. I mean, I wanted to say that was unfortunate timing, but then the Infernal Blade came out afterwards. The Chaos Bolt came out, and he was silenced as well, so he wouldn't have been able to sunder anybody anyways. He basically had to drop that Cold Embrace on him to help keep him alive. And despite the work that Affliction is putting in here, they're coming back into this. They lose Katyu, so one more hero down. Question is if Alone is able to defend this Rax here. These two catapults are pretty annoying, man.
Yeah, you won't be able to because of the catapults, so ends up being really nice timing here from Osmium. It's the only creep Storm can't just instantly kill without being in trouble, so.
Yeah, and unfortunately the Stormspear wasn't able to just like jump on top of them there. Doom was sitting like behind the racks there, with War Stomp available, Doom available. If Storm shows himself for like more than half a second, he gets stomped and then doomed. So that's the reason why he didn't try overly hard to defend that Rax. Alone was very conscious of that Doom being hidden.
All right, Kataro takes the bottom tier 2 tower. What's he? Ah, okay. He disassembled his Echo Saber into an Orchid and is going for a Bloodthorn.
Yep. This makes sense. Bloodthorn is a very ownage item. Are you a big fan of the changes to the Maid Slayer?
Yeah.
Tier 4 neutral items now dropping. Leveler for Winter Wyvern, Pit Edge Sword. Good stuff, good stuff. And yeah, there's the Bloodthorns coming out to the CK right now. If he goes down twice, he doesn't have buyback. But I don't see him going down twice here.
He's very tanky at this point. 4,300 HP. And with the increased percent chance on Chaos Strike, like all he has to do is just attack something for it to live. And it looks like Sladen's got his axe. Dude, Sladen is so farmed. Wait a minute. He passed the Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
He's got Dark Portrait and an Aeon Disc.
To be fair, Storm Spirit doesn't need farm.
I hate this game.
Look, man, your net worth doesn't really matter when 5 Null Talismans is the optimal build.
I believe 6 Null Talismans is the optimal build. He is going to go ahead and do the Ag's Blessing upgrade and buy a 6th Null Tally. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, once he's got the gold for that.
And then he'll just backpack his Refresher, you know, because it's not nearly as good as a 500 gold item.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the Aeon Disc of Sladen with that one. Oh, look, and he's back in base. Good stuff. I like how that.
Yeah, they tried to chase him there as well. Foolish, really. You're never going to catch him.
Mm-hmm.
Doll Prism picked up on Oscar. I imagine that goes the way of the Void Spirit. He's already holding onto the Quickening Charm, so you might as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that age about to expire? 30 seconds?
Yeah, they smoke up right now. I think they're really hoping to run into somebody. Someone's going to have to deal with your base being pushed in, though. He's doing an excellent job on Parker. These illusions, shoving the lanes in. In fact, he's going to get a little bit of damage off for the mid to tier 3 if no one addresses this.
So you have a Leveler CK and a Timeless Relic Doom, which is very strong.
Yeah, that'll make up for all the stats resist on the Terror Blade. He's replaced his Titan's level with the Penta Edge Sword on the TB, though. He just wanted to go for more damage. Caillou ends up running into Parker.
Oh,
he ends up getting off the Fiend's Grip.
He does temporarily, but Draken's going to chase him down. Gets the Doom on top of him. Nice Vortex comes in, but it's going to be Kataro with the Winter's Curse. That will buy him a little bit of space. The question is, can they finish off this Terror Blade? He's trying so hard on Draken, but Sabas comes in able to do it. And they've also got the sleep onto the Storm Spirit. A Remnant cooling down in a couple of seconds, but it's going to be the Bloodthorn from Kataro that helps finish him off instead. Another buyback from Katyu doing work.
Now they're just going to run it down. They've got buyback on the Doom, but not the Storm Spirit. He can't get back into the game. He needs another 300 gold for this. There's no way for him to get it either. Now, net worth actually becoming a big deal for the Storm Spirit. Doesn't have enough to buy back into the game. The TB, I'm not sure he's going to be able to defend this by himself either.
Yeah, you just shouldn't have bought an axe. You should have just saved the money for buyback.
This, but ironically. Oh, mid-rack is already gone. They're going to target the bottom tower. Again, TB can get back and defend. He's got Metamorphosis to work with.
Affliction hiding in the trees here. No Winter's Curse for 25 seconds. Doesn't seem like they really care all that much. They are going to go ahead and fortify to clear up these 2 catapults and these CK illusions that are just dominating these mid towers. So
Yeah.
Tier 4 is still going to be able to stand, but Kataro is just putting in work on the CK right now as he's got that leveler like we were talking about.
It's a good thing they managed to take down the Storm Spirit, though. Otherwise, he'd be clearing out these creep waves.
Yeah. No catapults this time. That was the big difference, right? So every 5 minutes you're allowed to push into a Storm Spirit, I believe.
Yeah. Otherwise, good luck.
All right, Ninja Gear drop there for Osmium, and suddenly, Infamous not looking good for them.
No. And Jam now picked up on the Winter Wyvern. I mean, a little bit late for this one. I don't feel like you have map control anymore. If anything, he's probably going to get jumped in or was taken from him. Doom find himself a Spell Prism.
That one will probably just
talking
go to the
about
Void
earlier.
Spirit.
He'll go to the Void Spirit, yeah.
And Doom does have his refresher. So it took him a bit, but as Doom does, he always manages to find net worth.
There it is. Almost as many for buyback again already as well. Was forced to get rid of his Midas, though.
Yeah, he sold minus for it,
Unlucky.
but it's all right. He went the Infernal Blade damage, of course, as well, which is so strong.
Well, hoping to finish off this Terror Blade inside the Doom. Wasn't able to before. Didn't have enough damage with his Infernal Blade. Also has his Egg Game Shard upgrade for it. A lot of bonus damage with this. Roshan going to respawn in a total of a minute and a half. The whole team is probably just going to play around the pit. This next one is going to be very important. Lincoln Sphere being worked on by the Timber Saw. They're actually going to back up here. I mean, Osmium, I guess, not forgetting that if Infamous get a favorable initiation, if they don't have a lot of info on them, then they don't really win these team fights. So, playing it safer. They had to claw their way back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what you can do now in Infamous. Like, your Terrorblade is your only farmed hero. Timbersaw, definitely as the game goes, like, to this point, is not that powerful of a hero, right? Like, he definitely falls off. He's, like, his timing is, like, you know, that 25 to 40 minutes. And, yeah, I mean, it just feels like anyone that CK wants to kill is going to die.
Yeah. Speaking of, he's working on a Blink Dagger, his next item on the CK. I don't know what he replaces with this thing. Probably the Power Treads.
Yeah, just get rid of the treads.
9 second until Roshan's back up. As soon as this one spawns, team didn't playing even closer to the pit, but this does give Osmium a bit of advantage with mid and bottom. Sorry, with mid lane pushing in naturally because they have an extra racks up. As soon as they see a hero on Infamous go back to try to defend from this one, they're going to go into the pit. In fact, it doesn't look like they want to wait at all. Roshan back up and Kataro's just going for it.
Yeah, he's got the Axe too. I don't know why he doesn't drop aggro there. Oh well. Oh my god, he does damage. But they're going to walk in with a Terrorblade Illusion. We'll just clean that one up. And they'll actually make a clone of it. And they're going to just go ahead and play aggressive instead as they want to just try and push Infamous out of contention here. Draken goes in, manages to find the Earth Spirit, pops his BKB. Oscar with the Lotus Orb doing what he can, but Michael instantly dead. There's the Winter's Curse. It's going to expire quickly. There's no one there. He drops the first Doom onto an already dead Wyvern, but he's looking for more. 2 heroes bound here. Will he get the double Doom? No, he just goes ahead and drops it onto one. This one will allow them to just continue the fight here on Parker, but alone. He's been caught by that Fiend's Grip. Michael will interrupt it with his BKB, but it's going to cost him his life again. Kataro with a triple kill alone, trying to stand his ground here, but he can't do it. Terrorblade just too strong in the hands of Sladen here. Is he just doing more damage than Parker is at this point? They will buy back, though. The center comes out onto the CK. Looks like they will finally punish Osmium after 4 buybacks from the enemy team here, and Sladen will TP home.
Yeah, they get back now. The Dark Portrait are putting in a lot of work there, but that Doom coming off on a one target, then Doom dooming himself just made it so he wasn't able to fight Parker there, unfortunately. I'm not sure if he caught that one. Off one of the Lotus Orb. He really wanted that double Doom.
Yeah, he doomed the Timber Saw instead. I mean, he could have chosen either or, and he doomed the Timber Saw.
In the middle of his, like, it's like when the cast animation actually went off, the soul bind ended up ending. So he is like, okay, I don't care if I hit myself with this one, as long as I get off in 2 heroes, which is fine. It only ended up hitting 1. And then Draken wasn't able to fight the TV because of it. Just absolutely melted him.
There's a beautiful kill there, setting up the dieback onto 1. Grimstroke goes down. He's going to be forced to buy back. However, Alone is out of mana. If they can chain stun down the Terrorblade, this would be huge, and Draken should make it easy. He does have a BKB. He's going to be forced to use it. Sunder is available instead. He's just going to TP home. But the Abyssal, does he get a range? He doesn't. The Lincoln saves him.
Would have loved to pull him with that and then hit him with the Abyssal afterward, but couldn't gap that distance quick enough. Old Abyssal would have done the trick.
Alone goes in. I think he's going to regret this one quite a bit. That's a dieback on your Storm Spirit, your position 4.
Good one, buddy. Storm Spirit down. And with that, I don't think they're going to be able to defend. I'm pretty sure the Osmium just run it down, try to win this game. Looks like Alone knows it as well. So Aegis, Cheese, Egg and Scepter. Who did the eggs go to?
They gave it to CK, which I'm actually a little bit surprised. Like, could have just put it on
Illusions
Doom
for everybody.
But yeah, I mean, you just get Phantasm Illusion for the whole team. It's like, it just feels like Doom, just dooming a hero is pretty sick, but I guess Kentaro wants more illusions to play with.
I could confuse the shit out of the enemy team when there's that many illusions.
That is true. And that's, I mean, it's looking like it might just be game 1 going the way of Osmium here as they get ready to push the high ground.
Yeah, let me quick look at that. Assisted by the leveler there. There it is. Look at all the illusions. Incredible stuff.
Good stuff. Affliction. Biggest Winter's Curse of his life. Okay, it didn't quite pan out for him, but Kentaro now looking to find the tier 4 tower. Michael rolls in, biggest magnetize of his life. Kentaro seems to not care, continuing to focus on the barracks, pulls him back in, and he goes down. Parker coming to the BKB here on the Terrorblade. There's a Feeds Grip. That's a Divine Rapier. And that is a GG.
It doesn't matter. He just ends up going down. Desperation Divine Rapier, and it unfortunately didn't end up being enough. First game, 48 minutes, goes the way of Osmium. I mean, again, it looked rough for them. I was certain that Infamous were just going to run them over, but after that first push, they just weren't able to do it anymore. Osmium managed to find an amazing team fight over in Infamous's jungle. Stopped waiting for Infamous to bring it to them, and took the initiative in these team fights, and that's basically what needed to happen. It looked like there was no solution to deal with this fight reset from Affliction. I gotta say, Winter Wyvern was robbed. Affliction played an amazing game, but eventually he just couldn't reset the fights hard enough for them anymore, and Alone didn't scale enough into late game.
Do you think if you maybe didn't go for 6 null tallies, you would scale better into late game?
Are you saying the nerf ended up doing the trick, Ricky?
No. I just I think this null tally build on Storm Spirit that we keep seeing is like the classic playing to not lose rather than playing to win mentality, where it's like, hey, you know, we're probably gonna get put in a scenario where we're gonna have to like defend high ground, and that's like people just are like, well, we'll just go null tallies on Storm instead of building any items to kill people. And
okay, so you're saying this this option that you were giving on Storm Spirit to be able to play like this has messed with people's brains and made it so they forget about playing to win on Storm. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, like exactly, this has been my biggest complaint about the hero. It's like Storm Spirit's a hero that's supposed to like snowball take over a game, and now he's kind of like this, and I'm just gonna sit in Fountain and zip down lanes until my carry is strong enough. And it's like, it just feels so weird. It's just like not like I'm not sure, it's not characteristic of what Storm Spirit is. Like, it doesn't really fit the idea of Storm Spirit in my eyes.
Well, we'll see if Storm Spirit is still picked up in game number 2, or if Alone has learned his lesson and decided not to build as many null talismans. Either way, it looked like they had this one in the bag. I mean, net worth was pretty even all game, yeah, but eventually it just felt like we had a tipping point where Storm wasn't able to put out enough damage. I mean, Oscar ended up doing just as much as him this game, but 2-9-13 is not a scoreline you want to end on a Spirit hero.
Yeah, it was just a great draft from Osmium, I think, all around. Like, they had answers to everything, and a lot of it was just going to be on the Winter Wyvern hitting like a really sick Winter's Curse, but
yeah,
it's a hard ask.
Maybe.
It's a hard ask.
I think that the other heroes end up falling off too much. Like, if your Storm's not putting out enough damage because of item build, then you have Earth Spirit and Winter Wyvern who aren't really massive damage dealers. it puts too much pressure on the Terrorblade, and when you have things like Fiend's Grip and Doom to fall back on, it makes his job very difficult. He's not able to just survive by himself and pump out damage at that point. So
Yeah.
late game, it was like you're you're fighting into too many heroes in the late game. Osmium just felt like they had more than you, so maybe they'll clean things up in game number 2.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to short break, everyone. Jeez, and we'll be back with game number 2 here of Infamous vs Osmium. We'll see you in a bit.